Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and on this episode, we're taking a look at a new figure from Bandai. No, it's not one of their Anime Heroes figures. This is actually part of their high-definition Ultimate Legends line, and this is Nezuko from Demon Slayer. Everybody's favorite waifu. We now have another version of her in action figure form, and I think Bandai has done a few. We've seen some from other companies, both American and imported. I know McFarlane did one of her last year, which was pretty good. But this is Bandai's turn to do it now in their own style, and that's exciting. So let's talk about this packaging real quick before we get her out of the box. And I like this packaging, but admittedly it is not collector friendly, but it is very eye-catching. So if you're a mint on card collector, this one's kind of pretty to look at. I mean, you've got this great gold foil that's going across the side here along with the gold letters, wonderful image of Nezuko, really cool looking Demon Slayer logo, and best of all, you really can see everything that the figure comes with, which doesn't seem to be much, actually, but we'll see when we open her up. But you do get the scraping window to see this figure for the most part with really nothing blocking that, you know? So that's kind of nice. Granted, when you start turning it, you can see there's a lot of empty space here, but, you know, it is what it is. At least you got a cool looking figure packaging, because really that does look quite striking. So we'll go ahead and turn this around. Now you guys can see that the back of the box is maybe not the most interesting at all, actually. So besides getting this big chunk of stuff over here, you get, again, a few photos of how the figure looks. We don't have any other information beyond that, though. That's pretty much it. You just get this really cool photos of Nezuko in action. But other than that, I mean, all we're getting on this packaging here is just a lot of manufacturer information. And FYI, in case you didn't know, it's made in China, because they say it 4 times here. And they kind of just say more stuff down here that's really not important. This is all just manufacturer warnings down here. Nothing of use. I mean, you got recycling instructions. It's a lot of wasted space, unfortunately. And that's with these Bandai figures, I guess, because they are imports, they just have all this extra information, and they're sold, you know, globally, and a lot more accessible than a lot of American toys are. So, yeah, I guess that's why they have all this stuff here. I just kind of wish that there's a little bit more whimsy on the back of this box here, because, yeah, it's like you go from seeing this really beautiful designed packaging to getting manufacturer's warnings and where this was made. So not really that exciting, unfortunately. But hey, lucky for us, we're not mint on card collectors. So let's go ahead and get our Nezuko out of the box and take a closer look at her from all angles. And here's our Nezuko out of the packaging. Let's do a quick rotation here so you guys can get a good look at her from all angles, as I always like to say. And I get the feeling this is going to be a pretty quick review because you're looking at everything that was actually in the box. I thought there was maybe some more accessories in there. I was mistaken. So when you get this figure, you are getting Nezuko, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of it here. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty quick review. And Nezuko's an interesting character because design-wise, she looks amazing. In toy form, though, she's kind of a difficult character because of her wardrobe, because of her hair. So if you want to get this figure, you do have to think that there's going to be some sacrifices to make with her. And, you know, I can give you my 2 cents on what I think about it, but really, this is going to be one of those videos where it's all about personal preference to you buying something. So let's go ahead and get started with that right now. And, you know, I'm going to bring her closer to the camera first, and let's give you guys a little bit better look at her from head to toe. And the number one thing that stands out is the detail on this. And keep in mind, this is a figure that you're going to find in like a Target or whatever, or Walmart, and it's going to be standing up there next to other Anime Heroes figures, as well as standing up there with like Jurassic Park toys and WB figures and whatever else is there, Marvel Legends in your stores. So this is a figure of a really hot anime right now that's going to be available in Targets and places like that. So, you know, consider that you're finding this in a brick and mortar. That's really cool, and the level of detail, level of paint application on her is just really great. You know, I never have to worry much with Bandai when it comes to paint, when it comes to sculpting their anime characters, because they get it. And this Nezuko is definitely one that they got. But on the downside, there's some things that we don't get. That's right, we don't get things because of how they do their toys here. But, you know, we'll take it from the bottom up, I guess. Really cool feet. I like all the designs here. Decent sculpting on there. Her kimono, of course, is where a lot of really great sculpting is. And a lot of good paint, too. And you'll notice with Anime Heroes figures, you don't really get any paint slop, like, ever. I can't say I've really seen too much. I think we might get the tiniest bit in her hair over here with this little pink blob, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's really hardly noticeable. That's the truth. It's really hardly noticeable. Likewise with her hair gets a little bit more messy, but you have to really look at her hair to find any of the spots where it does start to get messy. Nice sculpting on that as well. That's how she looks from behind. Again, it's, you know, really nothing exciting from the back. And that's just because of how her outfit is. That's just because of who her character is. All the really cool design stuff is absolutely in the front of this figure right here. And it does look really cool. Now, let's talk about her face a little bit. And this is Nezuko biting down on her chompy stick. Let's just call it that for argument's sake right now. And she is in intense fight mode. You can see because she's got the veins coming out of her forehead, like she is in fight mode at the moment here, which is cool. And again, nice paint job, good sculpting. They really nailed the appearance of Nezuko and her eyes and the intensity she has when she's feeling like the way she is here. That's kind of where it ends, because I kind of wish there was like a second portrait maybe, because there are no accessories here. And I don't know why there aren't. I mean, I don't think this is like their super duper budget line. I don't believe it is. So it's kind of confusing that there's no other things for her, especially since she doesn't really carry like weapons or anything. Like, why aren't there accessories and why isn't there another head? And on that same note, why isn't there maybe another set of hands or something? I mean, because, you know, all she really has is these grabby hands, which, again, not inaccurate, but kind of wish there was some more going on in the accessories. And even just getting to this early point in the video review here, I'm just already kind of lamenting that because, yeah, it does feel like there's stuff missing here. So let's start talking about articulation. And this being an Anime Heroes line, usually the articulation is great, but as we've seen with a lot of toys, not just Anime Heroes, when you get outfits like this, you immediately start to lose a lot of that mobility. So as far as head goes, all right, surprisingly, that actually moves a lot more than I thought it would. Because typically this hair, if you look like a diamond figure or any other toy with long hair like this, it tends to disrupt the mobility. But this is not bad, honestly. Like, she's moving the poles, moving the positions, and she's holding it. That's what I meant to say there. Not bad at all, honestly. Okay, I didn't think it was going to be that good. The chest does not do anything. It doesn't rotate. And the waist, let's see, this is what I'm curious about. Nah, okay, the waist does not move at all. It is locked in there because of the way this is sculpted. However, we do have ball-jointed shoulders, and that is a butterfly joint. Oh, wow. Okay, not expecting that. That's a butterfly joint hiding in that shoulder. So she can actually, like, cross her arms, which that is unexpected and very cool. All right. We do have a single joint elbow. No double joints here. It's a single joint, but pretty good range of motion. The hands can flex and bend, and as I look at them now, there's actually painted fingernails on her. I don't know if that's going to show up in the video or not, but her fingernails actually have paint detail on them. That is so minuscule, but really cool. You know, I thought this was going to be a much more negative review. I'm finding a lot more positives the more I dig around this toy here. Now, legs are where I think we're going to lose everything, because, yeah, you can see here we've got good mobility and flexibility in the ankles. They flex, they bend, they can move about. And it looks like her shins do move. We have knees, but this is pretty much the end of the mobility here, is what you're seeing right now. Really, you can't do any dynamic posing. That's also because of the outfit. So there's mobility in there, but you're not going to really ever use it. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate here. So yeah, the knees are there, and there's good rotation in them, but that kimono just blocks everything. And unfortunately, I feel like that's where the review has to end, because there's no accessories and nothing else there. But let's do some figure comparisons here, and I'm going to start by bringing in Tanjiro, who we looked at. Well, actually, we never got around to looking at that video. That video got corrupted. We did that with Vinny, and the video file ended up being corrupted, so we never actually released this. But we did look at a Demon Slayer figure in the past, just no one ever saw it. So you can see here the difference in how these two figures are, and Tanjiro has a lot more articulation, but he's still sharing some similarity. There's a lot more joints on him, much more exposed joints, so better mobility across the board. You might notice, by the way, his sword handle is missing. That's just because it kind of fell out of the toy box. It actually is removable for a reason, but we'll say that for another video if we do some more Demon Slayer stuff. But likeness-wise, height-wise, I mean, these two characters blend in really well. I just wish that Nezuko shared a little bit more of the articulation of Tanjiro here. But let's knock him out of the way. Let's do another comparison right now. Let's pop in a Goku over here. Hopefully he'll stand up straight. And we'll pop in a Midoriya over here who we just looked at. So, all right, now we're talking scale and comparison. So the two figures on the left and right are Anime Heroes figures. Those are closer to the 6-inch line. This looks not quite in that 6-inch scale. She definitely looks like she is a slightly smaller figure in a lot of ways, because she shouldn't be as small or smaller than Deku, that's for sure. Now granted, scale is always kind of out of whack with a lot of these Anime Heroes figures. It's close but funky sometimes, but here especially it feels like it's, you know, they don't really fit in. Nezuko really shouldn't be that small. Granted, unless she is shrinking. Maybe we could argue that she's shrinking at the moment, but that's kind of pushing things a little bit, I feel like. So yeah, surprising how the scale is working out here. You can see again just how much better the articulation kind of is on these two figures in some places, maybe not as good in others. You know, there's not really a lot of things I have to compare Nezuko with from the Anime Heroes line, because there haven't really been a lot of female figures that they've done. And the ones that they did would be like Nami from One Piece, so a very different kind of outfit. And I mean, I could compare her with some other figures too, just for giggles, because yeah, I mean, she's gonna be dwarfed by a Jada Toys Ryu, and you know, talk about being dwarfed. How about a Gorilla Monsoon from WWE Legends? Yeah, that ain't working at all. So yeah, as far as scale and heights go, best of luck to you, buddy. But as you can see here in this very lonely looking shot, she is a kind of a small looking character. So that brings us to the question of who the heck is this version of Nezuko for? Why is she so small? I'm not entirely sure about that. But I will admit that overall the height is good with the other Demon Slayer figures that we looked at from Bandai's lines. And that includes our Tanjiro once again. I don't have any other characters yet, but hopefully I'll get some more. But you know, at the very least, she is in scale to, or at least closer to scale with this figure. So that does mean if you're getting other Demon Slayer figures, they're going to be really same height, and that's what matters. Now, they might not scale up as well as other figures, but again, McFarlane's out there doing his thing, so that might be why they got to do the scale at this size. I feel like I don't really know all the details about the reasons for this, and your guess is as good as mine is. But I think overall, the sculpting on her is really good. I think the articulation is a little bit better than I expected. As far as the legs go, that's exactly what I expected, so no loss there. But you look at this figure, and it's quite impressive on a lot of other fronts, while missing in a few other areas. And again, I really do wish that she had either more hands or another head. Something, you know, just give us something, because this figure is great. The packaging was unnecessarily large, but it looked beautiful. I do wish there was just a little bit more to this Nezuko. So that's kind of where I think we're going to wrap up here. Overall, if you're a Demon Slayer fan, I think it's worth grabbing, because I don't think she's too expensive either, to be completely honest. And if you get the rest of this line, it's going to be a perfect fit, because overall, these guys, I do think, look a lot better than what McFarlane's done. But the problem is they're just in such a weird, different scale and size that it might not fit with other things that you collect. So this is why I said at the start of this video, this one's going to be more about personal preference. So consider this a tour of the high-definition Ultimate Legends Demon Slayer figures from Bandai. If you'd like to pick up this Demon Slayer Nezuko for yourself, I'm not going to say the whole name of that toy again. If you want to pick it up for yourself, go ahead and check out some of the affiliate links we have in the description for this video below. If you click on any of those links, it helps support this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you, whether you buy this or something else entirely. Overall, you know, I like it, but I will admit it doesn't fit with my other figures other than the Demon Slayer ones. It doesn't even fit with the other Anime Heroes figures. So it's a cool collectible, it definitely is, but you gotta know what you're getting when you get into this one here. And if you're happy with it and you're cool with it, then go for it. But just keep in mind, there's some shortcomings, there's some good things about it. It's a mixed bag, but overall, great sculpting, great paint, a lot of great things across the board. Just kind of wish it was maybe a different size, more accessories, whatever. But yeah, hey, I want to hear what you guys think about this figure too, so go ahead and leave some comments below. Let me know what you think about this version of Nezuko and how it compares to other things that you've bought of her in the past. So until next time, I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys here later with more toy reviews, statue unboxings, and everything else we do here on the channel.